To illustrate the reduction, it'll be useful to have a running example, and we can fill in the numbers as we go along. So let's consider this input formula to the 3-SAT problem. It consists of 3 variables and 4 clauses. For variable x1, there'll be 2 numbers, v1 and v1 prime. Similarly, for x2, there'll be v2 and v2 prime, and for x3, there'll be v3 and v3 prime. In addition, there'll be 2 numbers for each clause. So we'll have s1 and s1 prime for clause 1, s2 and s2 prime for clause 2, s3, s3 prime, s4, s4 prime for the last 2 clauses. And finally, we have t, which is our desired sum. These 15 numbers specify the input to the subset sum problem. These numbers are going to be 7 digits long. The digits correspond to the variables, 3 variables, and clauses, 4 clauses. The first 3 digits correspond to the 3 variables, x1, x2, x3. The next 4 digits correspond to the 4 clauses. Now an assignment to F either sets x1 to true or false, so we wanted that a subset sum solution either includes v1 or v1 prime in the subset. How did we ensure that? We put a 1 in the first digit for v1, v1 prime, and t. For all other numbers, we put a 0 in the first digit. Now, assuming there's no carry from the other digits, how can our subset of numbers achieve a sum of 1 in the first digit? Well, the only way is to include either v1 or v1 prime, but not both and not neither. So we have to include exactly one of these two in order to achieve a sum of 1 in the first digit. Similarly, we put a 1 in the second digit for v2 and v2 prime and for t. And in the third digit, we put a 1 for v3, v3 prime, and t. And we put a 0 for all other numbers in the second and third digits. This ensures that exactly 1 of v2 and v2 prime is in the subset, and exactly 1 of v3 and v3 prime is in the solution to the subset sum problem. So now we know that any solution to the subset sum problem corresponds to an assignment. Now we have to ensure that it corresponds to a satisfying assignment. So for that, we use these remaining 4 digits.